Orchestraville.
Orchestraville? Where's that?
You change four score and 7 to 87?
Oh, that view is tremendous.
A landing was made this morning on the coast of France by troops of the Allied Expeditionary Force.
I don't blame them for dyeing your hair, I said, but they waited too long to embalm it.
Time now for spinning my dad's vinyl. Here with all his skips, scratches, and pops is my dad, Frank Vaccarello.
Thanks, sweetie, and thank you for tuning into episode 81 of Spinning My Dad's Vinyl. I've been familiar with Bobby Darin ever since I heard Splish Splash for the first time. I've been familiar with Johnny Mercer because he's written at least a couple dozen of the songs we've heard on this show so far. So, get ready for a couple singer-songwriters who were born 27 years apart on Volume 81, Two of a Kind.
Two of a kind, for your information, we're two of a kind.
Two of a kind, it's my observation, we're two of a kind.
Just like peas in a pod,
and birds of a feather, alone or together you'll find that we are two of a kind.
Hold it for a second.
Wait a minute, what are they playing your song for?
My song, don't blame it on me.
Oh, they're playing our song.
They certainly are. I think we ought to do a standard, John.
Yeah, I think we ought to get to work.
All right, Billy.
William? Back home again in Indiana.
Oh, talk about the South.
And it seems that I can see the gleaming candlelight still shining bright through the sycamores for me. The new mown hay sends all its fragrance.
You know about that, Jazz.
From the fields I used to roam.
I'm a Yankee myself.
When I dream about the moonlight on the Wabash, then I long for my Indiana home.
Sounds like it could be fun. Back home again in Indiana.
Way out west.
And it seems that I can see.
See what?
The gleaming candlelight.
One what?
Still shining bright through the sycamores for me. The new mown hay sends all its fragrance from the fields I used to roam.
Roaming in the glowing.
When I dream about the moonlight on the Wabash, then I long for my Indiana home.
When the meadowlark is singing in the springtime,
I want to sing a little swing.
I got the key, just follow me.
You mean see
when things are peachy on the old Ogeechee.
Where the heck is that? When they start to shiver on the Hudson River.
I know where that is.
Yeah.
I dream of my Indiana.
New York and old Savannah.
Dream of my Indiana home.
That's the old standard, Indiana, written by Ballard, MacDonald, and James F. Hanley. And they teased the song at the beginning of that, Two of a Kind, which we will finish this episode with. Okay, Why this album? Well, like I said in the opening, I'm familiar with both of these singer-songwriters. Bobby Darin was a favorite of my mom's, and she had plenty of his 45 RPM singles. I've played his music often over my DJ career. Likewise with Johnny Mercer. I had heard a couple of the songs he recorded over the years and knew he was a prolific songwriter. I think I've mentioned his name as a songwriter on this show almost as many times as Henry Mancini, George Gershwin, and even Irving Berlin. Together, they really do make a great team. And Bobby really shows off his vocal talents in this next one.
This town is full of guys who think they're mighty wise just because they know a thing or two.
You'll meet them night and day, strolling up and down Broadway, telling of the wonders they can do.
Oh, sing it, Bobby boy.
I just did.
There's conmen and there's boosters,
There's card sharks and crap shooters.
they congregate around the metropole.
If I knew what that meant, I would agree with him. They wear flashy ties and collars.
Yes, but where do they get their dollars? They all have got an ace down in the hole. Yes, some of them write to the old folks for coin, and that is their ace in the hole.
And others have friends on the old Tenderloin. That's their old ace in the hole.
Why, they'll tell you of trips that they're going to make from Florida to the North Pole.
The fact is their name would be mud, just like a chump playing stud, if they lost that old ace in the hole.
Oh yes, now some of them right, you'll find
Just a minute, just a
right to
minute.
the.
Let the man play his piano solo.
But I want to sing tenor.
I don't really care if you sing 10 or 20 minutes after he's through playing piano.
Listen to him. I think I make it better than he does.
Well, that's the nastiest remark I've ever heard.
Listen now, if you don't like the way I sing, why don't you sing some? Sing Melancholy Baby. Sing something.
Better this tune. Why they tell you of the trips they're gonna make over Florida, all the way up to the North Pole.
Oh, it's sad, it's sad.
Oh, Lottie.
But their names would be mud,
Like a chump playing stud, if they lost that old ace in the hole. Have another drink.
Very funny interplay there with Darin imitating Groucho Marx, W.C. Fields, and Dean Martin. That was Ace in the Hole, written by George Mitchell and James Dempsey. Okay, let me tell you about my dad's vinyl I have chosen for this episode. Bobby Darin and Johnny Mercer with Billy May and his orchestra, Two of a Kind. It's on the ATCO Records label, number 33-126. It's a vinyl LP album mono format. It was released in 1961. Its genre is jazz pop, and its style is big band vocal. Now, we will hear 6 of the 13 songs on this album. I'm going to read all but a couple of the liner notes from the back cover. Like peas in a pod and birds of a feather, sing Bobby Darin and Johnny Mercer in the album's title song. This self-description has a bullseye accuracy. Bobby and Johnny are indeed two of a kind. Of course, you are not likely to mistake the voice or the style of one for the other, but they both possess such a compelling rhythmic drive combined with a casualness of approach and an unerring sense of timing and projection that their joint vocalizing turns out to be the most welcome musical treat since Johnny and Bing Crosby used to get together on the radio and on records. Indeed, you will find here the same kind of infectious informality, complete with bright and spontaneous ad-libs. These ad-libs, moreover, are meant to serve as a particularly important function. They let the listeners share in the not-too-well-kept secret that Bobby and Johnny would rather be belting out songs together than do almost anything else. Bobby, long a serious student of popular songs and their interpreters, felt that Johnny Mercer would be just the right one to join him on a tour of some of the long-neglected corners of Tin Pan Alley. Johnny, who is 27 years older than Bobby, was excited about the idea right from the start. For this recital, both men decided that though the accent would be on the all-the-timers, the all-too-familiar war horses would be kept carefully locked up in the stable. Unquestionably, these two-of-a-kind performers were having a ball when they cut this one. I think you will too when you listen. This was written by Stanley Green, author of The World of Musical Comedy. Okay, let's see what the prices this record is being sold on Discogs.com. $11.49 was the highest, $1.50 was the lowest, $4.80 was the average, and $5 was the median. It was last sold on May 2nd, 2022. My dad's vinyl is in fair condition, with some cuts being in poor condition. There's a couple marks on this, weird markings that I just couldn't clean off. The cover is in fair condition, but because it is a pinhole cutout from one of those bins that I've mentioned before, I'd have to rate it poor. So I'll value my dad's record at $1. Okay, where are we headed now?
I left my baby east of the Rockies, north of the Rio Grande, west of Mississippi, south of Dakota land. When you hit Texas, take Route 33, turn right at Dreamy Valley, left at Lover's Alley, stand beneath the apple tree. I'll make a little trip for my uncle, but I'll return, I know. And I'll remember just where I has to go. East of the Rockies, north of the Rio Grande, west of Mississippi, south of Dakota land. Just think of Texas, Route 33, the Dreamy Valley, Lover's Alley. Stop and see the apple tree. Find my baby waiting there for me.
Left my baby east of the Rockies, north of the Rio Grande, west of Missouri, south of Dakota land. When you hit upon Texas, take Route 33, turn right at Dreamy Valley, left at Lover's Alley, stand beneath the apple tree. My boat is shoveling off and I'm sailing, but I'll return, I know. And I'll remember just where I have to go. East of the Rockies and north of the Rio Grande. Hey, west of Mississippi, south of Dakota land. Just think of Texas, Route 33. Dreamy Valley, Lover's Alley, stop and see the apple tree. I'll find my baby waiting. I ain't procrastinating. My baby's waiting there for me.
East of the Rockies, written by Lou Singer and Sid Robin. Time now to learn about these two artists. Bobby Darin, who was born Walden Robert Casado on May 14, 1936, was an American singer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist musician, and actor. He performed jazz, pop, rock and roll, folk, swing, and country music. He started his career as a songwriter for Connie Francis. He recorded his first million-selling single, Splish Splash, in 1958. That was followed by Dream Lover, Mac the Knife, and Beyond the Sea, which brought him worldwide fame. In 1962, he won a Golden Globe Award for his first film, Come September, co-starring his first wife, actress Sandra Dee. In 1968, he discovered the woman who had raised him was his grandmother, not his mother as he thought, and learned that the woman he thought was his sister was actually his mother. This, along with events I'll talk about in this episode's interesting side note, deeply affected Darin and sent him into a long period of seclusion. Although he made a successful comeback in television in the early 1970s, his health was beginning to fail as he had always expected, following bouts of rheumatic fever in childhood. The knowledge of his vulnerability had always spurred him on to use his musical talent while still young. He died December 20th, 1973, at the age of 37 after a heart operation in Los Angeles. John Herndon Mercer was born November 18, 1909. He was an American lyricist, songwriter, and singer, as well as a record label executive who co-founded Capitol Records with music industry businessmen Buddy DeSilva and Glenn E. Wallace. He is best known as a Tin Pan Alley lyricist, but he also composed music and was a popular singer who recorded his own songs as well as songs written by others from the mid-1930s through the mid-1950s. Mercer's songs were among the most successful hits of the time, including Moon River, Days of Wine and Roses, Autumn Leaves, and Hooray for Hollywood. He wrote the lyrics to more than 1,500 songs, including compositions for movies and Broadway shows. He received 19 Oscar nominations and won 4 Best Original Song Oscars. He died June 25th, 1976. Okay, let's get back to the fun. Hands off my tube cake.
I ain't gonna give nobody none of my jelly roll.
Well, how about your shortening bread?
Oh, wouldn't give you a piece of pie to save your soul.
I guess that's what you said.
My ma told me today when she went away
Buy groceries.
to be a good boy, she'd give me a toy, 'cause I'm my mama's pride and joy. There ain't no use of anyone to keep hanging around.
Maybe I'm waiting on your ma.
You don't know my ma, she'd really put you down.
Put me down?
Ma's baking up a stone, and her oven is still warm. I know you want it, but you can't have it, and I ain't gonna give you none.
You dirty boy. I ain't gonna give nobody none of my jelly rolls.
Oh, such a stingy chap.
I wouldn't give you a piece of pie to save your soul.
How about a Zuzu snap?
Her cherry pie is fine, her layer cake divine. But I'm telling you twice, you can't get a slice unless you're extra special nice. Now there ain't no use for you to just keep hanging around.
Oh, pretty please.
I love you, but I hate to put you down. Yeah, my jelly roll is sweet.
That it is.
It sure is hard to beat. Well, I know they want it,
But they can't have it.
yeah,
Oh, Miss Nellie, I mean my jelly roll. Dibs on the dishpan.
I got seconds.
I Ain't Gonna Give Nobody None of My Jelly Roll, written by Clarence Williams and Spencer Williams. Time now for this episode's interesting side note, and it has to do with the political activism shown by Bobby Darin in the late 1960s. Darin became more politically active as the 1960s progressed, and his musical output became more folksy. In 1966, he had a hit with folk singer Tim Hardin's If I Were a Carpenter, securing a return to the top 10 after a 2-year absence. Darin traveled with Robert F. Kennedy and worked on the politician's 1968 presidential campaign. He was with Kennedy the day he traveled to Los Angeles on June 4th, 1968 for the California primary, and was at the Ambassador Hotel later that night when Kennedy was assassinated. That event, combined with learning about his true parentage, had a deep effect on Darin, who spent most of the next year living in seclusion in a trailer near Big Sur. Returning to Los Angeles in 1969, Darin started his own record label, which was titled Direction Records, putting out folk and protest music. Darin wrote Simple Song of Freedom in 1969, which is an interesting turn of events, was first recorded by Tim Hardin, and the song became Hardin's best-selling record. Gotta love music. Darin himself sang the song live on several television variety shows. Of his first Direction album, Darin said, "The purpose of Direction Records is to seek out statement makers. The album is solely compositions designed to reflect my thoughts on the turbulent aspects of modern society." And I'm sure he would have had a prodigious output if he had lived longer. Okay, remember that age-old question? Who's guarding the guards?
Who takes care of the caretaker's daughter while the caretaker's busy taking care?
Careful.
Gee, oh gosh, oh gee, that's really what worries me.
I see.
I know the caretaker, he must take care while he's taking care. She's alone somewhere. But who takes care of the caretaker's daughter while the caretaker's busy taking care? Brother John?
Who makes time with the timekeeper's daughter while the timekeeper's busy keeping time?
Don't ask me.
Who makes every scene while he's winding his longines?
I have no idea.
You know that the timekeeper must keep time, and someone's gotta make her tick-tock chime. So who makes time with the timekeeper's daughter while the timekeeper's busy keeping time?
Who gets tense with the tent maker's daughter while the tent maker's busy making tents? Of course, I'm talking about Omar Khayyam.
Yeah, well, that's exactly who I am.
Didn't recognize you without your shirt on. And you know Papa Khayyam, he must make tents while he's making tents. Tell me who's making sense.
Yes, who gets tense with the tent maker's daughter while the tent maker's busy making tents?
Rocks for the rock roller's daughter while the rock roller's busy rolling rocks. Just a twang in his guitar, and being most rectangular. Now we know that the rock roller must roll rocks, but while he's rocking and rolling, who supplies her yaks? Who rolls rocks for the rock roller's daughter while the rock roller's busy rolling rocks?
House with the housekeeper's daughter while the housekeeper's busy keeping house.
I'm usually out myself. I know they can't afford a maid, and they can't call up the ladies' aid.
Yes, but you know that the housekeeper must keep house,
and that child ain't busy reading Mickey Mouse.
So who keeps house with the housekeeper's daughter while the housekeeper's busy keeping house?
I mean, while the rock rollin' busy rolling rocks.
Yes, sir, while the caretaker's busy taking care.
Who takes care of the caretaker's daughter while he's out taking care? Written by Chick Endor and Paul Specht. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. These are two very enjoyable voices, and they both sounded like they were having a ball putting this record together. I will always remember playing my mom's 45 RPM singles of Splish Splash and Mac the Knife, and I'm sure we're going to hear plenty more music on this show written by Johnny Mercer. And let's finish up with the title track of this album.
Two of a kind, for your information, we're two of a kind.
Two of a kind, it's my observation, we're two of a kind.
Like peas in a pod,
And birds of a feather, alone or together, you'll find that we are two of a kind. What's so wrong thinking life is a song and reaching for a star?
Who's to say if we'll go the whole way? At least we got
Sharing our lot, our victuals and viands, we're two of an ilk.
Say what if we've got rare Chateaubriands or crackers and milk?
Making it plain,
Explaining it fully,
we're similarly inclined because we're two of a kind. Two of a kind. When he's out of rhythm, I'm singing off key.
I never heard you do that, John. Say never you mind, 'cause I'm sticking with him to see above sea.
Easy for me, oh, need we explain? When he warbles sweetly, I'm flat and completely behind because we're two of a kind. I get kicks when I meet the cute chicks who hang around this lad.
And especially when they whisper to me, hey, honey, who's your dad?
Two of a sort,
Like two pomegranates from off the same tree.
I'm with you, sport. Whatever you plan, it's a goes double with me.
It's a goes double with you, huh?
Yeah.
I got a terrible thought.
Most frightfully upsetting, and yet we are getting resigned to being two of a kind. We're two of a kind.
We like working single
Or working in twos.
Keep us in mind. Give us a jingle and we got taps on our shoes.
We'll dance. We're both of us like the Tower of Pisa.
I'm a leaner like a Hisa inclined.
Because we're two of a kind.
Because we're
Two of a kind.
That's Two of a Kind, written by Bobby Darin and Johnny Mercer. And there you have selections from two great American singer-songwriters. So thanks for tuning into Volume 81, Two of a Kind, However You Did. If you want more information about this show, head over to spinningmydadsvinyl.com. I'll be back next week with all my skips, scratches, and pops for Volume 82, Button Down Bob. Until then, go with the flow, my friends.